Hello, guys. Good evening. Welcome. Okay, here we are. It's the December Christmas season raid live wire. Okay, then a live wire is the second one of the set for this raid format. It's the final for the year. So gonna have a quick look at the raid briefing. Good evening in the chat there. Welcome, Si. Welcome, Josh. Bouncers in. I see Lady Cat popped in quickly. I know she's got a show to do as well in a little bit. So I'll have a quick look. I thought at obviously the briefing notes, just so you're aware. I thought we'd just have a quick zoom in on this here. So actually, the Ronin, which is the ship we're about to try and win, that one is just about visible there, I think, on that screen. It's obviously skirmish. It's supposed to be a type of submarine. It does have some unusual stats, which we'll look at maybe a bit later on. Looking at that sort of hint video there, or little video clip then from Kixeye, it looks like actually though it's on the surface. Whether it gets to do a dive or a deep dive, I don't really know. It's a little bit early yet, but that looks to me as if it's a surface ship that's firing torpedoes. That's what I'm guessing anyway. So there we go. We'll have a little look at it hopefully and have a little view obviously of the blueprint once we get into the prize list. But just thought it'd be worth having a quick look there to see what's available. And talking of things that are available, well, obviously we've got some targets, obviously some S-type targets, obviously as per normal. There's a new X co-op target. We might take a quick look at that. And then there's a routine sort of like siege targets at tier A, and then some assault targets at tier B as well. Raid content this time, obviously this is all in preparation for the next raid format, obviously, which starts in January. So we're up to 9.5 tier skirmish there, like I said, the Ronin, basically, some upgrade tokens which are available, the weapons system as well, which we'll look at those blueprints in a second. There is a torpedo bay tool as well, and a countermeasure system. Bear that in mind, countermeasures. Generally, torpedo countermeasures don't work too well, so you can pop a few on, but they don't generally help you a great deal. So yeah, and it does look a bit like a bloated battery. You're quite right, Ian. Yeah, I quite agree. Um, Please also know that there's a new campaign kicking in. It doesn't start yet, but it doesn't start till 7 p.m. Kickside time. Okay, so middle of the morning or middle of the night, depending which way you look at it. Middle of the early morning or late at night for UK. So we won't be able to see that one for a while. What else have we got then? Basically, so there are some targets, are some points, but we'll look at those as we progress through. There is a lovely picture of the new ship. It's not the flag, obviously. It's the routine ship, so it's a skirmish, as you can see. Look at the design there. Yeah, it looks like it's put on a few pounds, doesn't it, to some of the previous ones that have been available. So they've stretched it a little bit with a bit of Photoshop, maybe. Anyway, so that's it. That's the new hull itself. Then there you can see the stats. Look at the armor points. Look, it's getting well out of hand with all those zeros. It's a bit crazy, isn't it? Maximum weight then is huge. Um, Already at concussive damage, look, 470%. So that just null and voids all other ships, basically. So all other ships that basically you want to be able to utilize, even if you were allowed to get into them. Okay, the fact this is already starting with plus nearly 500% damage gives you a hint. And look, evade bonus, which is always good on skirmish ships, is obviously indicating that all previous tiers are going to be pointless already without even doing anything to it. That's the bare hull stats. So yeah, combat speed is fast, turn speed is slow. So bear in mind, it's another good one to use. Obviously, the evade cruise. Hey Ren, how you doing, mate? Welcome, mate. Um, yeah, so combat speed obviously is high, turn speed's low, so evade crew will help you up massively then because you get a big boost of that one. So bear that in mind. Another bonus from using one skirmish ships as well. But it is interesting. Sonar range is built into there, so that's quite nice. And obviously, looks like we're going to be fighting some interesting battles. Obviously, based on that short clip that we saw up above as well. Um, but yeah, so we'll take a little look at that. There were a couple of things I was going to notice in well. So there we go. Is a friendly aura look, a range of 40. So obviously a 5 cap as well. And normally you can get a bit of a hint as to maybe sometimes what the actual flagship might be called. So anyway, it's a rogue band aura bonus. Maybe not yet. Anyway, 5 ship bonus, duplicate cap, range 40, extra cussive and explosive survival. Okay, and cold snap immune. Fantastic. It does always have a built-in CM shield. Okay, then. A salvo 1, firing angle 60. Oh god, it's not one of those angle ones, is it? Okay, and it counters torpedoes. Well, let's see. Let's see how it works. we've got some great names. The built-in Horo, whatever you want to call it. Okay, then. So that's the same thing, but on the opposite side. So we've got a right-hand side and a left-hand side. Okay. Accuracy 135. That's interesting, and a range up to 50. So just go outside your ore range. So that's just outside the stacking range. So bear that in mind. Upgrade tokens, obviously there's the limit. The upgrade tokens, the same standard as ever. You don't have to go through and get every single one. It doesn't, there are a stack load of upgrade tokens in the raid, and there will be in pillage as well, and some various TLC. So don't get overexcited on getting obviously these upgrade tokens, because yes, you do need them, but you'll be lucky to get through to about U2 on your ships before we actually get to the next series. So don't get too carried away. There is plenty of options to go and get these. Don't bust a gut just to go and get them to then have them sitting there waiting for you then to upgrade later on. So, and don't collect them all, because you don't need to. And we'll talk about that a bit more a bit later on. But the set fees, and when I go through and have a little look at Wayne's web page, basically, obviously, then that's actually got the token count based in there, which we'll look at in a second anyway. Like I said, there's the torpedo, looks fancy and that sort of stuff. Obviously, doesn't look that good on your ship, does it? So that's a generic torpedo. Okay. I'll be doing for damage on that one then. So 45k. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 40,000. Fantastic. Reload time 3.2. So really fast reload time. So don't worry about reload. 3.2 already. By the time you get those up to full rank and that sort of stuff, you'll be blatting out torpedoes like they're going out of fashion. So don't worry too much about reload speeds and that sort of stuff. Most of it's already good. Once it's below 4, with no rank whatsoever, it's normally not too bad. Yeah, I hate them when you're right. Sideways anti-torps just means a right pain for driving. Interesting look, stealth visible range 160. Okay, so just bear that in mind as well. That's something you might want to consider. Always makes me smile when they have building and wall damage for torpedoes. But yeah, okay. I've never seen a torpedo manage to hit a building yet, unless it's obviously the ones that obviously the range sort of like ones that sit up in the water. But particularly wall damage, I haven't seen many torpedoes hit a wall. Anyway. Torpedo bay. Some of these items, obviously, don't forget, are specials and they're limited tech as well. We'll look at the price list of that in a second. Okay. So the art department again have done a fantastic job. I like these; they're really, really good. Obviously, I've got this zoomed in, so obviously these pictures weren't quite this big, but even at this zoom rate, it's quite good to see. Yeah, anyway, so adds a bit of total weight there. Look, not too bad this time, 10%, not too bad. But critical chance, it's always good to see some critical chances for torpedoes, obviously, because quite a lot of them miss. So when they do hit, they can hit hard. So it's a 40%. That's not bad, to be honest. I've seen it a lot worse than that. And obviously the critical damage is 160%. So we can do some math multipliers, obviously, later on when we start doing the builds. And Ren will do a build video, as he always does. Yeah, so here we go. A new countermeasure. Okay. Which is interesting. Armor weight's 20, so could have been a lot worse. Adds to the accuracy, which I quite like. Adds to your countermeasure range and countermeasure. They're really hinting that you definitely need to put on some countermeasures on these ships. Okay, so Joe, bear that in mind. Whether it's anti-explosive, whether it's anti-concussive, we'll have to wait and see. And that's where you're going to get your defense bonuses. Look there straight away. So it looks a lot, but it's not a lot once you start ranking these ships up. We'll just flip back up to looking at that ranking. So just remember what that says, 12.5. When you look at these, looks like U3, look, you got 2600 as well. So yes, it adds a bit. Okay, well, a bit more than a bit actually, but it's not a huge chunk, and obviously that's even about armor considerations and that sort of stuff. So like I said, those are basically a quick look at the blueprints. Let me have a look at this. Might be a bit bright, but wow, here we go. Look, this is Wayne's page. Okay, then he obviously he runs the Ahoy Mahati website, and on here, then obviously he's got his raid calc up already. You don't need a huge amount of points. You can break them out if you're fairly up to speed. Okay, and so if we just go for the flagship and we go obviously for the torpedo, I can guarantee there's probably going to be some funky torpedoes coming later on. We'll look at the torpedo bay itself then, and then obviously the countermeasures, because it's obviously limited, so you need all 5 of those. We're at 16.5 already, in the millions this is. Okay, upgrade crits, I always tend to go for 10 of these, okay, because they just seem to work out better that way. And then on average, I sort of like between go 4 to 8 of these sort of things. So let's just say it's 8 in the middle, basically. Everything else is just routine stuff. If you're up to speed, you don't need anything else, to be honest. There's not a huge amount in here. There are a couple of things like if you need an overlord to be fixed up still, there's 7 shards this time in there, so pick those up. You want to Harrower shards are in there as well. There are other items, but there hasn't been a great deal going on, so most people are generally upgrading as opposed to building at the moment. So if you are reasonably up to speed, then 31 mil is about the limit, is what you need basically. So just bear that in mind. So just round it down to 30 for now, because I could have just said 6 of those or less. So that's about it. So when we're talking about upgrades, like I said, oh, we've got an advert there. Thank you for that. Let's just flip across to upgrades. And I'm not sure if he's got the ship in there yet, but basically PvE, which is what we're looking at there, we'll do the drop down menu. It doesn't really matter which one it is because generically it's all the same. It hasn't changed for an awful long time, to be honest. So let's just look at Gladys, for example. And there we go. Look, okay, so U1, then it's 10, 30, 60, and then for X1 it's going to be 60 as well. So you can get what you want, and if you get up to the U3 stuff for now, that's fantastic. So 120 if you want to, obviously, plus another 30 plus, so 160 times that by obviously your 4 ships. Generically, these tokens don't work for the flagship if there is a flagship coming. I assume there probably is. There generally has been in every raid for a considerable amount of time now. So yeah, just bear that in mind. And if it's obviously the flagship, you end up getting, it costs you more. It just goes up a little bit. It's normally sort of like a 40 and then 80 sort of stuff. So generally the U3 and the X1 is the same amount across the board. Forget the stats because it's obviously a different ship, but it's just the number of tokens. So you add that up across the whole lot of tokens, you'll notice that there are already too many tokens available in the raid. The reason they do that though is you've got the 10 count, which is a high stack, obviously. So it gives you quite a lot of tokens, but if you're struggling to get points, you can go for the lower ones to still actually achieve and get some out of the raid itself. So okay, so that's having a look at that then. Shall we just zoom back down quickly and scale it back out again, and let's go in and have a look at what we're looking at. Yeah, so just before we do, we will zoom in and have a quick look at this again. So it looks to me like there's the Ronin or whatever it's called. Okay, we can see obviously it's the classic ships that we've seen before. There's a submarine. Okay, so yes, it will attack submarines, but obviously there are surface ships as well. I know it's a short clip, but it doesn't show this this ship going underwater at all. It's sitting on the top of the surface. So to me, it's a surface ship and not a subsurface ship. Even though it's got some interesting stats, because it did bring up some questions before. And then you can see those side arcs, look. Okay, see the torpedoes going out to the side? See the way it's being firing, look? So not a great deal happens at the front. Let's just watch that again. You got to turn, you got to turn, you got to turn. This is going to be frustrating for a lot of people. I can already tell that. So, and you can see the range, look, there's a green zone here as well. So whilst it is firing, okay, there's a limited range and a maximum range of this green zone here. Whether that's a countermeasure range, I'm not really sure yet. We'll have to play on that and have a look. I'm sure somebody will break down the stats and do a good video. I'm sure Ren will do a good video. Derpy probably as well. Anyway, I just wanted to have a little look at that. So let's zoom out again and let's get into the game and have a little look. It's always interesting the first hour because generally, obviously, Kixeye do their special graphics equalizer slider thing, and damage goes up and down over the first few hours. So, whilst it's as general, gives you a feel of what's in the game, it might not necessarily truly represent the overall damage over the weekend or the week that's coming, basically. So, take it all with a pinch of salt, and we'll take it by a bit of guesswork. One thing I did notice, by the way, we'll just close that rubbish and close all that for a second. Yeah, live wire, we do know about that. Thank you, because that's why we're here. And we'll definitely close chat for now. If you ever were to coin, okay, this is the day to do it, because when you go into the offers, the first one that comes up is generally, well, it's not that first one. He says it's this one here. Okay, if you're ever going to do it, then this one here obviously is a considerable saving in the long term, not in the short term, but it is a considerable saving. And I'm not doing a sales pitch, but then you can utilize this, the fact that you've got a 59% saving, and then later on when there are other offers turn up, and it's like, there you go, there's an example there. If you already consider that, that's 349, it was 5,000, that sort of stuff, and you've already got a 60% off as well, it's a save. So if you're going away and that sort of stuff and you want to catch up, you miss a month, it's a method, okay, that you could use rather than just like clicking that horrendous button up there, which I keep well away from, because that's probably, even when it's not lit up, sale always makes me smile because I don't consider it is that. So if you are in the realms of choosing to obviously pay to play, or to speed up it, because it's not about time, as I've said before, then it is an option. It's the cheapest option possible in the long term. It's an outlay. I get that, but ultimately, everything in life is an outlay, isn't it? Right. So let's have a little look. So top tier. Okay, forget the X for the second. What we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the auto target. Okay, we're going to have a look at then obviously the driving target and see if there's any comparison or comparative difference to last time. Bear in mind, after the first 5 minutes, they allowed that target to everything within the target to pop up, and then you could auto the target, whichever one you wanted to. Both of the targets popped up with everything in them, and you could actually alter them. Okay, wasn't the most ergonomic method, and in some respects, some of the turrets, actually, it's better to have them pop up whilst you're close in, because obviously then, as they're popping up, you're firing at them. It takes them 1 or 2 seconds to fire back at you, as opposed to them being above the surface firing, and their range was generally greater than yours. Okay, the only ones you haven't got to really worry about too much is obviously the scattergun ones, because if you drive and doing drive-bys, then obviously you can generally outrun what they're firing. So it's not really too bad. Um, Trial and error, obviously, for what my salt ships, by the way, are good to go. They're X1 across the fleet now. Should be. I haven't messed about too much. I've left those crummy MDS3s. I mean, they're not crummy. They're very good, to be honest, but they didn't serve any purpose. But to be honest, I wasn't investing any more time in this fleet. It didn't quite overlap. So I would have taken them off, and I just couldn't be bothered, to be honest, in the end. So I don't know how many I've got. Two on there. Two on there, none on there. So I've got two at full power, three at full power, including the flagship. Okay, my OCD is already ticking in now. Look. Okay, so I'll put those on the wings just in case. All right. And like I say, for this one here, just because, what have we got here for combat? And yeah, so combat speed is slightly more than turn speed. I always like to have quite a high turn speed, especially the fact that we're going to be trying to avoid the ghost crawlers, which you need to keep at range and try and keep it at 90 degree to you as well. So if you can do that, obviously with keeping a bit of speed, as you can see, I'm hyper 30'd up on these, so they are quite quick. If you can get a fast combat speed and turn speed, then you're onto a winner, really. I've got a stack of various crews, which I do and don't use, but we'll have a little look at these. So let's launch this. Let's put the game into full screen, and then let's go into the raid. Tick the box for the set that we want, which is this one for now. We might get a chance to have a look at this one afterwards, so it's interesting. It's all the same ships this time, because last time it was a mix, wasn't it? So that's why this is a new X target as well. So co-op. That's pretty standard. So 1.75 for there. Okay then. This I found last time, the auto target was pretty decent, and to be honest, I managed. I think I did half of my raid last time on auto on the BP app itself. For those that still got it, it did work fine. I'll whilst I'm doing some targets, I'll have a look to see if it's still working at the moment for this raid set, and just let you know. So I did a stack of the auto targets last time, and then when I came home, I finished off with a stack of the top level targets as well to finish off the set. So that was quite productive, to be honest, for me personally. Righty ho. So this time the numbers are slightly different. Let's just zoom in so we can see what they are. Like I said, so it's 144. There's the big target, which we may have a look at in a minute, and then obviously it's the 146. So it always goes up in numbers. So we'll just double check. Normally 144, the lower one, it doesn't matter where you go in, you always end up starting the same place. So let's just try from 9 o'clock. We'll right click on it and take a look. We'll go in and then we'll just exit straight away. We'll come in from the 3 o'clock side and just to double check, but we should know really by the time. Oh no, so this one here, you are starting at the top. Okay, remember I came in at 9 o'clock there, so let's retreat. We'll lose the bonus, but I don't care about that at the moment, to be honest. That's not what I'm after. So we came in at the top then at about 1 o'clock, didn't we? Let's go in at like 4 o'clock, something like that, 5 o'clock. There we go, and see what it has to say for itself. Ren's cheaper than Kicks. He likes to drive. Yeah, I agree. I think we all are, aren't we? I drive up to a point, and then when I got really close to where I want, I just give up driving after that. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, this is the auto target. Um, do you know what? Let's just do nothing. Let's just let it do itself. Okay. Just out of interest, let's just see. Last time the fleet split on the first couple, and then after a few targets, they seemed to bunch up, and then I never had that problem for the rest of the raid again. So uh, let's just see what happens. So fortunately, then obviously it's killing the ghost crawler, but it's not. So all right, it was killing the ghost crawler, so we'll kill that turret off. Goes back and kills the ghost crawler, and then it should go across and hit the stonefish. Yeah, which it is. Up pops. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of corrosive shots there. So damage looks as if it's gone up already. I'm looking at the damage counter. That looks like it's quite a considerable amount of damage. It's saying it's only hitting 3 targets and 1 ghost crawler. So what's those missiles coming in? What's the difference? Didn't make a huge amount. Quite a few of those were missed, quite evaded. I mean, if you're driving, these are the things you want to get rid of first, these generators, because that gives them their extra power. Just bear that in mind. Next little section will pop up in a second. Here it is. Okay, there's the stun tower. There it is. It's stunned. They're hard to actually hit the stun turrets before, obviously, if you were driving, that is. They're hard to hit before you actually get to the turrets. They're not positioned very well, to be honest. Okay, Death Side was hit first, so that's okay. I'm hoping it's going to kill off the Ghost Crawler next, which it seems to be doing, so that's okay. Is it going to do it before it dives? Yes, it does. Then it hits the drones, which are inside the stun range, so they're not doing you a huge amount of damage. Well, it could have been worse damage. We've still got another bit of land to pop up yet, so it's not all over. Death Scythe then comes in. See, you fire before the Death Scythe starts firing. That's a good thing about it, you know. Um, Otherwise, if you wait till it's all popped up, which you can do, because you obviously indicates where everything is, but then they start firing before you. Okay, completed. What do you reckon? 45 to 50 minutes? No, I reckon over an hour, just over an hour. So on auto look, you can see obviously what we evaded and that sort of stuff. As obviously corrosive, because you can't evade corrosive because it's an area effect, damage type, and obviously there are no crews that help you with that. So you can't evade that at all. But we resisted some because obviously with our armors built in and that sort of stuff, and the natural resistance of the ships. So resisted 72%, took 7%. That odds is fantastic because that doesn't make 100, does it? Okay. And then obviously the penetrative, we did manage to evade a reasonable amount. It's interesting how the evade stat looks huge, but this is of the damage taken. Okay. And then obviously 5% resisted as well. It says none taken, which I find bizarre, to be honest, because yeah, anyway, not to worry. What do we say for 42 minutes? Okay, 42 minutes, considering I didn't even drive, already indicates to me that I'm going to have a really lazy raid, and hopefully. So let's try and drive one, shall we? Next, so 42 minutes. Somebody clocked that. Si, you're pretty good at that normally, to be honest. Um, yes, Ren, you're quite right. 28 years coming up now. So yeah. There we go. Bit of information, pointless information for you guys, but yeah. Anyway, so 42 minutes 16. Somebody just remember that. So we'll go and find another one now, and then we'll actually drive it. So is there a 44? Or what's that thing hiding behind there? What's that? That's a 46. It had to be. There's a 44 there. So we've got a rough sort of idea. So the idea is to try and coax out, obviously, the ghost crawlers, kill them off first, and then or kill off the turrets without triggering the ghost crawlers and kill the ghost crawlers off afterwards. So there's a catch-22 in all of it as ever. And if you can do it, obviously hit the stun towers and then go and kill the turrets. But they're positioned to trigger you into full sense of security, I think, personally. Okay, so here we go then. Let's have a look. So it'd be nice to get this here. This brings up nothing. I think we can probably get around, take that out without doing a great deal. So we'll have a little look. I think I managed it last time. Oh, let's see. There you go. There's a freaking right. Let's let that build up for a little bit. It only gets to a maximum. Obviously, the stun or the electromagnetic effect basically only works up to a certain percentage, and then it stops working anyway. So now, if I remember rightly, you can get just inside here, take out that. Yes, you can. Because look, see, look, I'm not actually not on it. Okay, so I'm not actually on it. Look, and obviously my effect there took out one of those, obviously those small drones. So I can zoom forward. There we go. I'm in range now of the second one. With a bit of luck, I should be able to get down to this stun turret, which I just about can do, I think. Yep. Okay, the ghost crawler's coming in now. It can't fire at me, it's submerged. So whilst it's waiting, I can kill its drones off, get out of the zone. Okay, and then I can start working my angles. There you go. Everything's firing behind me or thereabouts. It's disappeared. Not very helpful. It'll pop back up in a second. Oh no, it's died. That was pretty quick. That seemed to die very quick. Okay, so before I trigger this one, which I want to do, obviously we know there's a turret here, so I'm going to bomb in as fast as I can. So as the turret comes up, then I'm going to kill it, and I'm going to drop down here and then draw that ghost crawler set out. Here we go. I'm not worried about the turret because I'm driving faster than it can hit me. All that damage was falling behind, wasn't it? Not very happy that the stonefish, I didn't notice it there, so I took a incoming round from the stonefish, but it's not the end of the world. Maybe keep away from that ghost crawler because it's gone into deep dive. Now it's come back up. Staying at 90 degrees as best possible. Most of its fire is sitting behind me. I'm trying to do a bit of a turn and it's gone. Right, it's dead. Stonefish, just go straight for him. You can avoid the stonefish. There's nothing you can do about it. You've got no choice but to just get in there. We know there's a couple more turrets kicking around here. Let's get in there quick. And if it is, obviously there it is. There's one there, and that's corrosive turret in there. Scattergun range. So let's just pause on that. Let's get in there and kill this stonefish off. Target the stonefish itself as opposed to anything else, so we're not wasting ammunition. Good, that's that done. This is going to be out range. This scattergun here. And then we've got these two here to worry about, and that one's not going to cause a problem. So let's pause a second, then that's long enough. We'll get upside, kill that off. Stun is fantastic, but it's not going to help us with that stonefish, so we may as well just kill it off as well. Kill off that turret because that reduces a bit of their power. Drop up this death dive. We're outside that range. I'm surprised we didn't trigger the last stonefish, but we will go get it now. 42.6, wasn't it? Something like that. And take out the last turret, hopefully. I think everything's up. Yeah, we're done. Okay. Let's have a look then. What do you say? 42.16 or 42 minutes 16. So this time, look, corrosive. Look, we did manage to avoid it. So there's the point. Look, okay. So if you do drive in that arc and try and keep those ghost crawlers at a reasonable distance, okay, then you know it doesn't do too bad. The scatterguns, I outranged everything basically, or I outran them. Sorry, my evade this time was better. Okay, then taken 2% of damage is what I took. So resisted most of it. Look, my damage is right down here. So whilst this bar looks huge, it's representative of the overall damage you took. Okay, it doesn't mean you took more damage. It doesn't work like that. It's sometimes a confusing chart. Okay, so there we go then. Would you say that was instant fix in the dock, or is that instant fix out on the sea? 42, 46. That's instant fix, isn't it? What do we reckon? Come on, chat. What do we reckon? That's instant fix to me. Did say 42, didn't I? 42, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 4 minutes, is it not? Or was it less than 40? I can't remember now. My memory's terrible these days. 42, yes. Sorry, Sai's saying 42, yes. So that's an instant fix on the sea, isn't it? Okay. They are not going to allow that to continue. They are not going to allow that. That will change. I can guarantee it. Okay. Or is that payback? Yeah, it's instant on the map. Yeah, it is. So, okay, fine. Right. 46. Okay. You missed it. You have to watch it back, okay? But that's instant fix on the sea, okay? And that was the first ever go at it as well. So you know, I should clip that, record it, and then upload it and say, there you go, that's mine. But yeah, not too bad. 4 minutes and 2 seconds, I think it was, something like that. 4 minutes 1 second. There we go. Thanks, Paris. Cheers, mate. Okay, good. Right, okay, so we played around with a couple of those then. Let's go and have a look at the 146. Here's one here, basically. Yet again, this one will make a difference on the angle. Uh, let's have a look and see what we've got. So this is the one where I basically definitely made a point of dragging out as many of those ghost crawlers and drones as I possibly could just to clear the target out. Let's just refresh my memory. All right, I'm over here. Oh yeah, there's a plethora this time, isn't there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, they're all over the place. So that's not a good angle to go in at. I'm tight to the side, and there was 3 ghost crawlers there all over me before I even started. So let's try and find a sweet spot to enter. Let's try, I'm thinking sort of between 4 and 5. Drove them like you stole them. Hey, there's a good statement. You're not wrong, because my driving is normally really atrocious because I don't really care. But yeah, I thought I'd give it a try this time. Let's have a look. So here we go. So there's the breathing space. So we have got some breathing space now, because that was definitely the target is definitely favoured over towards the left flank, isn't it? So we know there's some bits basically. If there's undersea equipment sort of like showing stanchions, it's going to bring something up, even if it just brings a dead wall, but something's going to come up. So um, just bear that in mind. But I do want to try and draw out these ghost crawlers as much as possible. You just got to be cautious where the stonefish are, because at this stage I don't really know. Um, I think what we will do is we'll have a little. There we go. Here's the first one. So they're coming in. Bear in mind they can't fire at you just yet because they've got a limited range as well. So as long as you can keep them, and they don't turn quite as fast as you, but they do turn quite fast. Okay, I'm going to pause a second, let that ghost crawler dive, and then come back. And I'm going to spin around at this angle here. It'll come up, here it is. And then hopefully, if the damage level is the same as the before, is it as strong? No, it's fine, it's okay. Then, yeah, before it deep dives again, I can kill it off. So I've done that one there as well. So let's just indicate and get this one out of the way, and then try to chip this corner. There's probably a really horrendous turret sitting here. But let's push on this ghost crawler and encourage it to. So there's no drones around these ghost crawlers. That's interesting. So he's in deep dive. He's come back out. So I may as well nip back up and try and knock him out without obviously getting pulled in by the other one. Just missed the last little bit, but not too worried. Did trigger the stonefish, so my combat speed, as you notice, is slightly faster than them. Just a little bit. Not much, but just slightly. I'm not worried about that first one because, yeah, he should be able to hit behind me. And I don't want to get the second one. So it was only a single bullet. And now I can concentrate on the stonefish. So now I've cleared the corner. I'll do a drive-by here, but I don't think this brings up a turret, or does it? Yes, it does. It's oops, it's my fault. I shouldn't have stopped then. There's normally one sits here and one sits here from memory. Stuns, that's not going to help me now. It's too late. But I do want to seal this. It should be here, a death site. There it is. Okay, so I do want to actually kill that off as quick as I can. This one I can outrange. I can kill this off next then, because obviously that reduces their damage output. So there should be 2 corresponding turrets here and here now. If I can do that without triggering the other, there it is there. It's coming up now. Oh, so there's only one this time. Okay, so there's one there, one there. So let's. Interesting. So there's a series of drones here looking 2 stonefish, which is slightly frustrating. What I want to try and do is, there we go, they're triggered. That stonefish is firing, both of them fired in fact, but I want to pull those drones out of the way, because obviously they're indicating to you to go in and kill off the stonefish, sorry. And what I don't want to do is to go into the stonefish and then the drones start attacking my ship. So like I say, don't try and avoid these things because you're wasting your time. Try and keep out the range of the second one, which I managed just about to do. But don't try and think you can avoid them, because you can't. They have a 100% hit rate. A crummy building there. If I remember rightly, none of this actually causes any huge issues over here. I'm pretty sure you can outrange everything over here. Yeah, it's popping up now. Yeah. Oh, so there's one over there. So I could have come in from the top way next time and go this way down. So they definitely changed the target because there wasn't so much of this sort of setup with stonefish with drones sat around the outside. You know, yeah. So we're still getting outranged, but hopefully I can get in to here. Bear in mind those drones can't target me because I'm behind this wall set. Now they'll come in, but I'm going to outrange them. Oh, trigger the second set as well. That's quite handy in some respects. So I've triggered the stonefish. Obviously, it's still heading my way, but I just can't see it yet. Drone's dead. There's this first stonefish. Try and keep out the way. Didn't manage to quite keep out the way for the second one, but there we go. I'm coming back in. I don't really mind hitting the death dive. That's fine. It's one round is not going to kill me off, to be honest. He says clickety click. Where's the second one? Out. Out. You know, just managed to keep up in speed. There's the next one. Right, good. It's weird these little pop-ups here because actually you can drive straight through them, straight over them. I used to try and avoid and go around, but actually you don't need to. It's only the bigger ones with these sort of another stun turret, another complete waste of time. Okay, so let's start drawing out some of these now. I'll keep away from that death side for a minute, or unless I can get it from the back end. I think you can. If I get it from the back end, I should be able to get it. Two of them there. I won't be able to get the second one, but I should be able to get the first one. Yeah. So this was slightly different last time because you could be at that stun there and you could stun this set of ships, but you definitely can't do it this time around. I might be able to draw out that one by just nipping this edge of this here. Yeah, can just get it. Look. Good. Right. So there is a potential to kill out this ghost crawler. Maybe. Oh, look, he's got a stonefish right next to him. That's frustrating, isn't it? How close do I have to get? And how many stone? Oh, it just killed. No, okay, so it didn't trigger off this one. I was concerned it was going to trigger that one as well. So let me just keep out the way of this ghost crawler at best effort. Let it go into deep dive. So you can see I'm just out matching it for speed. I need to get an area where I can get clear so I can get at an angle. Right, he's out of my zone there, so I can cut back down now. And all that damage will fall behind. Should be just enough to get him. Yeah, I've got him. Stonefish next. Second ghost crawler came up. Where did that come from? Let me find some clear space out here and deal with him. He'll deep dive again in a second. I'm not in the best position. I'm going to spin around and try and catch him on the fly. Got him. Okay, into the second one of these stonefishes then. There's an awful lot of drones, but let me see if I can snag this stun. Yeah, just managed it. So well, that didn't greatly do a date deal, did it? Didn't stun anything, to be honest. So I think the drone range is 40 or thereabouts. So long as I manage to keep them outside of my zone here, I'm not doing it perfectly, but because they are quite quick. But obviously they get inside the stun range, and obviously they're stunned within a pretty quick amount of time. So I'll let this one sink again. Okay, now I'm going to turn. He'll just pop up just in time. There we go. Nice. Twin set of stonefish. Flipping heck. They don't want much, do they? Yeah, blimey. Okay, we're down to dealing with buildings now. I've got to come in here and take this thing out. I suppose I could have come the other way around and took that out instead, but we're virtually done now. Not horrendous target. I mean, and definitely there's going to be a better route, but that will come. I think this is the last piece, isn't it? Yeah, we're done. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't taking too much notes of chat there because obviously I was trying to concentrate. My apologies. Okay. Okay, so what are we talking about then? So yeah, a little bit of corrosive. So it wasn't perfect, but 1%. Okay, so yeah, I did notice a couple of those shots, obviously from a couple of those venom spitters did catch me out right at the earlier stages. Okay, so that was my own fault, but you know, practice makes perfect. And then penetrative look, yeah, we evaded a huge amount, 60%, which is quite nice. Don't forget, I've got an evade crew on, which helps a bit. Okay, resisted quite a lot and 2% taken. So you know, 1% taken of the damage and 2% taken of the damage. Okay, where were we, by the way? 47, something like that, I think. 56. That's you know, that's in dock 10 minutes, isn't it? Just under, roughly. Or we really should write down these numbers. It's 46. Okay, then 56, 10 minutes. So in dock fix for both of them. Hey, Daniel, you're right, mate. Good to see you, buddy. Um, so instant fix on the C for the one, and obviously, yeah. Oh, I just had a good thought. I'm not going to coin it this time because I think we can go in and do that fix because I've got some tokens left from the obviously the ones we got given free. So let's have a quick look. That is not bad, is it? To be honest, not horrendous. I don't know if it's going to last like that for the whole weekend, and I hope they don't turn it up because then this is going to be quite a decent raid. I thought I'd turn that rubbish off. Okay, let's have a little ganders. So looking at the points, and if it's 250, 250, you know, that sort of stuff, then, you know, so it's a million. Oh, the Vanguard here. We're talking about obviously that's yeah, the campaign that's the new one apparently. So anyway, so let's go to dock. Let's start repair. Let's fix. Speed up. Yep, I've got some left over. Come on. There we go. Timing was perfect for that, wasn't it? We'll launch that again. So we've still got 36 minutes left on this one here, so plenty of time. I would say average driving, but there we go. But that's not too bad. So that was for 3 targets. So one of the, you know, the ones that you can't auto technically, and we autoed the first one, didn't we? So you know, hell, it would have been considerably less. Oh, bless him. Look, he's bubbled. That guy, poor guy, joined us today after a long break on the game and that sort of stuff. He's come back and he's already bubbled. Bless him. Oh well, welcome back to BP. It happens. Oh dear. Right. Anyway, right. What, another 146, and then go back to hold on. Let's see if we can do. Let's see if we can be really clever and find a 144 and just confirm to myself that I wasn't completely a fluke. Is that one hidden under there? It is a 144 there. Doesn't matter the angle you hit these at, obviously, because this is the auto target. And nice to see that the fleet didn't break up. It did that last raid. And they made a slight adjustment, so that worked quite well. Was it you that hit him? I would like to, but he's in my own alliance now, so no. I think he's had a year and a half off, if not 2 years off. So he literally popped in my chat yesterday and went, "Hey, I'm back. I've moved countries and I'm back to work and I've got a bit of time on my hands now." So right, okay. I wish I could remember. My memory's terribly. What's sitting on there? I can't honestly remember off the top of my head now. But we will splice down round. We'll go up and get that. We'll trigger that off, and then we'll see how it goes. Here it is. Okay, it's a death side. So let's get straight in there and kill it off. We'll nip up and get that. Because I know you can just reach it. Look at that. I'm quite a considerable distance away from it. We'll go back up and we'll get rid of this, and then we'll scout around the top. So if anything does pop up, then we'll do it as a drive-by shooting, basically. Let's trigger. Right, we've triggered. So let's skirmish out the way. Hence the term skirmishing raid. Well, it's an assault raid, but we're skirmishing away from scummy skirmish horrible ships. Yeah, so that was a terrible angle for me. I almost got myself into trouble then. That's what we need to be doing, like that. And I missed that one, so I'm going to have to wait until he deep dives. Not the end of the day. Right, he's slightly off screen, but I can come at a reasonable angle here. It's only one single round. Right, all his stuff fell behind me, so that's good. Let's see what pops up in this top corner here. Oh, Let's dispose of him first. Got rid of him. We'll cut back around, cut in a bit tighter. It is just a corrosive turret which I can outrun. Get into the Death Hive turret. There's the stun. There's another one. I may as well get that out of the way, to be honest. I say there's no point driving, trying to avoid these things anyway. I've tried doing spinning in circles and all sorts of things. It didn't make no difference whatsoever. I couldn't get the damage down any different than what I was, whether I was stood still or not. So just a case of getting in there and killing those darn things, to be honest. Let's go up through here. Hopefully that will trigger whatever's on these, because I can't remember already what was on them. Perfect. May as well just sit still. We can definitely outrange this one. This is actually pretty chilled out. You can watch telly while you're doing these almost, can't you? Let's see what's on this turret top here, if anything. Is it the stun turret or is it another? No, it's just that big piece of rubbish there. We'll play clever. We'll go down. We'll kill off this. Get in there quickly. Go back up, take that one, get that, and then trigger these, I think, to be honest. That seems a pretty logical way to go about it. Smooth FM. There you go, Si, that's just for you. If there is, yeah, there is one there. Yeah. Deceptive looking at that damage bar. It doesn't really give you a true indication of the damage so far. So, whoops. Managed to get it. Yes, we did. Okay, pull out the drones. Thankfully, the ghost crawler's going the scenic route. What's it doing all the way up there? Probably kill off this turrets here and then just kill the ghost crawler off to finish, I think, to be honest. Let's do a bit of drive-by shooting, so no matter what it is, it won't matter. There we go. One of those there. Outrange that one there. I stunned the ghost crawler. Oh, interesting. Okay. Actually, the first one I managed. Right. Okay. Let's just pause. It's going to deep dive. Well, look at that. That's perfect. It will raise. I'll start moving. It should fire behind me. There you go. Try and keep it at the 90-degree angle. One more volley. Bang. Dead. Okay. End of target. Let's have a look at the numbers. 4 minutes and 42. Excellent, Josh. Well done, mate. That's nice. Here we go again. So what do we get then? It says none taken, even though it shows a little slither then, and 2% obviously on the pen, but obviously that's halfly because of the depth size, isn't it? What did we get for timing? 416, 442. I'm slightly chuffed that I beat you by a couple of seconds, Josh, but you did very well because I know your fleet. You've been working hard on it because we've been chatting. So good. So instant click, that instant button there. That's a nice feeling, isn't it? Isn't that a rarity? Do you think they're going to keep that in? Please do. Ho, 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 and all that. Season's greetings. Right. Let's go back and take a look at then a 146. And then I think we should go and have a look at a 912, don't you? I think that'd be a really good thing to do. Let's try harder. Harsh. Harsh. Oh dear. Please refrain from using foul language. Streamlabs, I've got to love you. I can't imagine what you said, Raider, but I bet it wasn't that bad. Streamlabs is really good at telling people off. It's automated. There's probably a setting somewhere, and I just probably haven't bothered doing it. There we go. If you instant repair, you're happy. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And ultimately, if it's below 25 minutes and the damage is average, it's still instant repair inside the base. So you know, that's all that matters to me as well. Corners can coin and speed their time up, and people that want to spend seat time and just grind it out, at least then they can do it their way. If they can, you know, if you spend all your time and effort on your fleet, as they used to say in the old days for this game, then you reap the benefits by having low damage. You know, and that hasn't been the case for a few raids in this series, particularly this year. You spend all the money on the fleet, and you still end up spending an awful lot of time repairing your ships because they're taking a ton of damage, and that was a real terrible drive by me, that one. So remember, there was one over here and there's two over here, isn't there? So we'll get this one first because we can outrange it. There's one there, is it? Remember? Oh. This one here is this one, so we're not in too much. Why? Why? What's the point of that all out there? Look, waste of time. Shall we encourage? Yeah, let's encourage this ghost corridor. Come on, you tinker. All right, I'm going to go behind it then because it won't be able to turn in time. There we go. Now it's moved. Stonefish has still got me. That's very sneaky putting Stonefish right next to ghost crawlers. It's almost like guaranteed damage. So, right, while he deep dives, I'm going to do a complete spin. There we go. So I'm going to turn around and be prepared then for when him to rise. Well, he's a bit closer than I wanted him to be, but that's okay. It's not horrendous. So they're triggering in twos. That's interesting. I'll bring this one out to the clearing a bit. It's a bit too tight in around here for me. Right, he's diving again. Now I can come back. That's a better angle. And another stonefish. Okay, so remember there was one over here, wasn't there? So there he is there. Good. I'm going to trigger that set. Yep. Stun? No, didn't stun anything at all. They were already in deep dive, so you obviously can't stun in deep dive. I don't want to run too far away because I want to kill all these drones first. Let that one deep dive. I've got room over here. He's coming in that way, so before he gets up, I'm going to flip. And then keep it at 90 or as best as I can from the... Good, done that one. Oh, drone kicking in there. Go at an angle. He was obviously stunned before. Stonefish there. Was there two there? I don't think it was two, was it? Let's get a bit closer. Is it two or is that one? I think it's just the one, isn't it? There we go, triggered, and I didn't set off any. I don't think that's a stonefish. I think that's just an extra circle. Can I kill this one off without getting damaged by the second one? Looks like I can this time. That was a bit better than last time. Okay, let's head up this way then. Yes, sorry, sorry. I am an HTML. I have not done anything but HTML since October. I've only used HTML. Made a point of, so I'm on the Opera browser. I've stayed with it and I've been generally quite content. I haven't had literally a single hand will count the number of concerns, crashes. I won't say crashes because they weren't really crashes, but concerns that I may have had. Here's one going out to you. What sort of songs do you want? That's a question. Okay, there we go. I might put music on the background, but if Ren's still in, he hates music, so I haven't put it on this time. It's there sitting ready to play, but I can play some right dodgy rubbish 70s disco music if you want. About my era. Can we trip this one? We should be able to just trigger it and kill it, hopefully in time before they come down to me. Yes, I can. There we go. That was handy. I quite like the way they built this target, actually. It's quite clever. They've done a good job. From a a design concept, I think it's quite good. Drone ships next to stonefish, but still being able to trigger out certain things to trigger ships to move and that sort of stuff. They've done a good job. Get the death side first, and we'll worry about the rest afterwards. Oh, what's that little bomblet thingy? I didn't notice that before. What's firing bomblets? Where have I missed that? I've not picked that up before. What was that orange bomblet that came towards me? I was out of range. I think I've taken a bit more damage because of that, whatever it was. Did you notice then basically my ECM, electronic countermeasure stun, it actually kills off, before you even get to them, it actually kills off the stun turrets. Ah yeah, see that orange little thing there, whatever that is? What the heck's that all about? I didn't notice that before. Thunderstruck, now there's a song. Wow. It's, yeah, that is a song. Problem is you can't play that because they get demonetized and that sort of stuff, and they get YouTube has a right bag on then. You know, getting your account banned and all sorts of stupid things. And they've turned into a very, very fussy company this year. Lots of rules and regulations. Did anybody notice, by the way, that orange thing firing at us from a distance in the previous targets? Did I just not notice it? Kicking out of the I seem to have taken one damage on flagship more than anything else, which is a bit odd. Let's have a look at this one here when we come back down in a second. I want to clock what's going on. So look, I'm not firing at all. Look, nothing's. Oh well, not quite true. There you go. Look at the range I'm at now, and you can see. Look, it's killing it off. Look at range. I'm not inside my own firing range, but it's just the specials that's doing it. Right, there's an orange thing. Did we have those orange things before? Did we? I don't know. I didn't clock that we did, but come on, trigger, trigger, trigger. Yes, thank you. Obviously, I'm chatting and pausing and looking and that stuff. You can probably knock these out much quicker than this, but this is supposed to be entertainment, isn't it? I'm quite surprised. I think it's okay. I think it's all right. And actually, I think what we will test though is, does everything pop up after after sort of like the first 5 minutes? I didn't actually look at that. What we'll do is we'll go into one. We'll just sit there. We'll go back at the prize group. We'll have a look at the prize list and that sort of stuff. You know, using the raid pop up thing, and then we'll go back and hopefully 5 minutes will have gone by then, and then we'll see if everything's popped up, because obviously they did that part way through the raid last time. I don't know if they're going to do it this time, because in some instances that does make it better. Some instances, not all. Is this all I've got left? I don't know. Yeah, I think it probably is, to be honest. Yeah, we're done. 22 minutes and 15 seconds from 146. Okay, mate. Well, I had a 10-minute, but I think it was more of a fluke because I think I've got more damage than that this time. But what did I get then this time? So 1% taken and 2% taken. So that's very similar. Evaded a stack of it, 67%, and resisted a bit over there, but obviously there's no evade, as I keep saying. 7 minutes. Okay. God, that's so close to, you know, if you had a, well, it may or may not work, because obviously you need evade, but obviously if you had a Grease Monkey crew on, then that would also be instant fix, wouldn't it, to be honest? 7 minutes 30 odd is plenty acceptable. Right, okay, so 7:35, remind myself. Let's find another one. Let's go and sit in the corner. Let's wait a few minutes. We'll look at some other stuff. We're not going to do, or are we going to do another one? Am I out of balance here? I think I am, aren't I? I think I do need to do another one anyway, because I think I've done one more 144 than I have done 146. I don't know. Yes, I have. Yeah, so I need to do another 146 anyway. But then what we're going to do is just going to go in, sit in the corner, have a look at the prizes, come back out, and after 5 minutes, and see if the target's done its pop-up thing like they did. See if they're starting the raid like they finished the last one, or whether they've decided not to do that this time. So we'll just sit in the corner out of the way, hoping that the ghost callers don't self-trigger. Let's have a little look. Right, was it 3 targets or 4 targets? Wasn't there? There was something different about the last raid to get the X set. I can't remember what it was, to be honest. And change the subject. That looks like a right dodgy canoe gone wrong, doesn't it? not to worry. Right, 2.25. Obviously, if I get the other target, that'd be 2.5. If I get the bonus, that's 3 million. 3 million is actually 10% of my total, isn't it? Of what I need. I've just clocked the hour, and I've just done slow time chatting, 10% of my total requirement for the week. So most reusable crews, honestly, you've only got a couple of options. So we can go through crews in a second. Actually, that would be a really good idea. Um, so we will go through the crews, and we will look at the 912 at a moment, just to have a look at it, because I'm just going to do this. I'm working tomorrow anyway, so I'm just going to go in, trash the ships. I'll go in, dock, and fix it quickly, and then we'll trash the ships. We'll do this second one of these 146s first, because I should be able to go back and do instant fix on anyway, after two. Um, and then we'll go in and get a total score for the 912, and then that'll be us basically. But crew-wise, yeah. So obviously, corrosive came out as a damaged type, obviously after crews completed and came out. So some things you can have, obviously firing bonus, splash damage helps, evade helps, turn speed helps. Um, Critical hits will help, with certain types of weapons. They don't work with certain ones, corrosive ones again. So crews basically don't work with anything to do with corrosive. If you're dealing corrosive, they aren't going to help you at all, and splash will, but nothing else will. If you're receiving damage, then trying to find something that might evade, corrosive isn't going to help you. Some of the ones do help you. They get stronger as your fleet damages more. But the problem is it also speeds up your ships and that sort of stuff. So that makes them messed. Steelheads is okay, and if you are managed to avoid, as I have done mostly there, most of the corrosive and actually you're penetrative, then you're still going to get the bonus from the steelheads because you were avoiding corrosive anyway, and you'll still get the anti-penetrative. So yes, steelheads in that concept will work. If you're autoing and you're taking corrosive damage, then obviously you're not going to do anything about taking the edge off the corrosive incoming. So um, if that sort of makes sense. Right. Yeah. So not too bad. What else did they say on the other sets then? They had obviously, yeah. So we are down to, what is it then? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So just under 500,000 then, obviously, just after 500,000. So that's the previous raid set targets. So remember, 30 is the thing there. So 60 targets or sets. What do you want to do it? So would almost get you there. Probably about 65 sets would do it. 65 sets. 6 days, 10 sets a day. If that's what you really want to do, then fine. Yeah, that would work basically. I literally think you will struggle your backside off. Obviously, this one is just 100. Obviously, 10 of those to get 1,000,000. Obviously, times that by 30, then it's an awful lot of sets. I suppose you break it down over a week, it's not horrendous, but don't forget that was to get every single prize and all the goodies as well. If I was to, let me just flip whilst he says getting rid of that for a second, just woggle that so it doesn't tick out on me. Let me just go back to this bright screen now, blimey, and go back to the raid calculator there. And like I said, if we just said all we want is this and this and this and those 5 there, then it's 16 and a half. That's more feasible. Like I said, there are other areas to go and get the upgrade kits. Even if you just wanted to get 4, so because it's 10, isn't it? Remember? Okay. So that's raid points. That gives you 10. So even if you just got 4, one for each ship to get you to U1, there you go. You're 17 and a half. So that's a more realistic low-level person, sort of like mid-tier person, sorry, total allowance, that would get it to U1, no problem at all. What did I say? It was 30, wasn't it? It's okay, 3, 6, 9, 12. On top of that again, you probably want one of 2 of these. Sorry, yeah. So there you go. 20 would sort of do it for you, sort of like so. 20 mil baseline, 30 mil top line. Unless you want some other stuff, then up to you. It's there's options there. Radio. It looks like I've got a stream deck or something, doesn't it? No, I'm just pressing Alt Tab, and that's what I'm flipping between screens. I've got 2 screens available for good news. So, my Streamlabs is on one screen, as is the chat, and as is VLC media player, and then obviously the game's on this second screen. So whilst it looks like it's quite a reasonable setup here, it's actually really basic. I've just got used to it, that's all. Um, it's not. I'm not splashed for cash when it comes to this sort of IT hardware, although the PC is reasonable. Yeah, so for me personally, how long have we been in that target? Let's go and have a quick look. Um, for me personally, I've not had any issues whatsoever. Here we go. We're down to 9 minutes. So it does. Okay, so they have done it. Okay, so they have done it. So technically, you could, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. Will it do it in 8 minutes, do you reckon? What do you reckon? Let's press the S key. Oh, no, I didn't do it for all of them. I only pressed for one ship. That's not good. Shall we S them and see if it'll... What was it? 7 minutes, wasn't it? 7 minutes was so, or thereabouts, wasn't it? So let's just press the S key and let's just see, is it physically feasible? I've got plenty of those free tokens to build it if they die anyway. So is it feasible, possible to auto those? And while I'm letting it auto, I'm just going to grab my phone and log in and see if the BP app is up. And if the BP app is up, I'm going to take a quick look and see if you can actually hit the targets if they're available. Right, BP app. I know a lot of people don't have the BP app anymore. I don't know, they took it down and then said they're not going to do it anymore, and then all of a sudden it started working again for some things. Kill the stonefish first, please. Yeah, then just kill stuff. This is probably going to be quite costly. Right, so battle HQ is on. Let's go look at targets. Looking at this is an assault ship, isn't it? I don't really have any other assault ships anyway. So assault, siege. Let me just have a look at, yeah, so siege. So I'm just going to launch the siege ships. Are you sure you want to launch from the world map? Yes, I do. Okay, so my siege ships are now on the world map. So now I'm going to look for targets and select target. Forsaken mission, drop that down, go to event, and what's popping up if anything? Yes, so I've got on the BP app Reaver fuel silo level 84, 86, 810. That's correct, isn't it? Oh, look at this ship. Look at my ships getting absolutely smashed to bits. Look at how much damage. I've taken nearly a quarter damage already. Why? Why, oh, why? What is it? What is it hitting? Oh, stonefish now. It's taking out the drones first. Didn't like that concept. Okay. I mean, 90% of the damage does come from the ships, and not much actually comes from the turrets, even the corrosive ones. So there's only, what, a couple of more. Well, one more ghost crawler, to be honest. The rest of it will start eating itself away quite nicely. Oh, and the ships will survive, I believe, looking at this. There's that ghost crawler. It's just triggered. Will it get stunned? It did get stunned. That was quite helpful. Now go and kill it. That was definitely helpful. Well, we'll definitely survive then. So, you know, this is not supposed to be an auto target. So I don't think I do this from the off, but I'm not quite sure why I'm doing this at the moment. But there we go. So they seem to have stacked, which is interesting. They've survived better than I thought they would. Stonefish are stonefish, and then whether you drive or don't drive, stonefish are going to do the same damage no matter what. It's only really the ghost crawlers and the drones. And if you're sitting there killing off something, but in the wake of, you know, corrosive turrets smashing you to pieces, you know, so yeah, it's a very Jenny, how are you? You're all right. It's a very ship heavy one. I think the other one that we're going to go and have a look at in a minute has got a horrendous amount of ships from recall, and it's a really long target. But we'll have a look at it. I'm not necessarily going to go and hit it because I did do it on the previous stream. It just took me for ages. Is this the last thing? 5 hours damage? No, I think it's probably 2.5. I don't think it's as much as you think. Here we go. Yeah, so clearly look at it. So there's the issue. Look, so straight away, look, taken an awful lot of yeah, awful lot of damage. Wow, thanks for the nice comment. Um, but that's simply because it was auto and sat taking corrosive, so I didn't manage to avoid any of that. So actually, it's the corrosive that's caused the issues, and the penetrative is still the penetrative. Like I said, you can't do anything with stonefish, and you've got very little that you can do with the death side. So um, under 2 hours, under 2 hours, still under five, mate. All right, so yeah, so not a horrendous. Okay, 1 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 3.5. It would have been if it was without half repair, you know. And full auto, that's reasonable. Has the crew run out? Is it still working? I didn't actually get to notice. Um, Set complete. Are we good? Let's have a little look. I need to go and get another million. Why is that? Because I want to start building the first ship tonight. Okay, that's my goal. So I will be getting another million, but I probably will do that offline because it's already been going an hour. So what the last thing I want to do then is go and have a little look. So I'll do one more set, but I'll do that on my own time. I want to go and look at the 912 target, and you could do 4 dead till fleet. Yeah, you're right, mate, because I had 42 minutes, wasn't it? 42 minutes, 42 minutes. Yeah, you could do. Yeah, I think you're probably right. You could do 2 sets definitely on full auto. Or you're about to engage a monster shooter. Yeah, okay, yeah, we get that. Thanks very much. I just want to go and have a little peek. So thoughts. So while we're getting closer to the end now, what do you think? Are you reasonably content? Do you think you're ready? Obviously, if you're X1, you need to be ready because if it's still undoable with X1, then they messed up. But I don't think this is horrendous so far. It's nothing worse than I was expecting, and in some areas I think it's better. To say I managed to do both targets driving for instant fix, not quite in the dock on the second one, but 7 minutes in total, I think that's acceptable. Okay, what do we got in this target? Let's go. What do we have in this target? We have less ships this time. There's probably going to be stonefish, I'm sure, everywhere. But look, there's only 2 ghost crawlers and very few drones. I think this is a little less concerning than last time. What is on this mess here, I don't really know. We might go and actually just wake a few things up. Or how about we just wait and let it all pop up? What would it be like if you waited, let it all pop up, then altered it and see what happened? I mean, it is a monstrously big target, but the fact that these are all spread out, you'd be pretty unlucky for other things. You'd have to come in at this sort of angle here to kill this, and then this one will be firing on you, sort of stuff. If that's what's coming out of here. And same here, you have to sort of go in at this angle here, and then all these would come up and start firing on you if they were death size. But at this angle here, that's not the case. Last time it was supposed to be that one person's hit this. Bear in mind, we haven't worked out what fences are going to pop up from under the water yet, and then somebody else was supposed to hit this, but you can actually cut through and do the whole thing. So I did do a couple, but yeah. All right. Well, I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes because you'll get bored to out your death. So let's go and trigger some stuff and see what pops up, just so we've got a rough idea. By the time we've played around a little bit, it'll be under the 10 minutes. So. Okay, nothing wants to pop up. Okay, let's drive by a little bit closer. Here we go. There's one there. Oh, so a stun turret. Okay, that was pretty hard to kill though, even for a stun turret. Let's get fairly close to this. That doesn't want to do anything. I think they're trying to encourage me to drive by close to everything, and then I'll get caught out and be in trouble. Oh, hang on. What's this coming in the bottom corner? Where are they coming from? Okay, so drone ships turn up. I wasn't expecting that. Ah, okay, so that's interesting. Drone ships arrive. I mean, they're not going to do me much harm because they're not very fast in comparison to my ships. Although they do cover. Oh, there's a lot of them. I suppose they're just going to keep coming, aren't they? God, they're everywhere. Look at me. I'm infested. Oh, here's a stonefish, and then let's get round there and kill that one first. I should have done that. Do they stop coming? This is worth doing then, because I wasn't expecting this. This is not what I was expecting. Quite interesting. Let's just keep away from that stonefish a second. I'm just wondering, do they just never stop coming? That's the only concern. So there's another one up here. Now, the only issue is when it gets to later on in the target and then you can't find the last stonefish and you spend 2 or 3 minutes driving around looking for the darn thing. Stonefish die, thank you very much. Done that one. Ah, and then the ghost crawlers come in now, look. So that explains why the ships weren't there. They're coming in from the periphery. So if we do manage to sort of like kill them all off, and yeah, that was really not the good idea, Mark. That's not the right way to go. Keep away from the ghost. Oh my lord, look at all these ghost crawlers. Holy moly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ghost crawlers. Okay, if I can stack them, I don't really mind. You know, whilst. Oh, look, I stunned that one. So can I get in and kill it? Not quite. They're taking a bit of killing as well. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So don't feel overawed, even though you've got loads of them. So long as you still play the I'm driving around in circles game, you should still be okay. You know, noting I was almost as dead as what I am now before I even started. So just keep dragging them around behind you and killing them off. I can imagine once they're all dead, they're all dead. As in, they won't start coming out again. But look at all the stonefish. I'm more concerned about killing the stonefish than I'm about killing the ghost crawlers, because the range of the stonefish is horrendous. So I'm just going round in circles. I mean, good thing is they don't really. Oh, I should have turned then earlier, because I did take a whopping great amount of damage then. Let's go up and kill this death scythe off. Come back out again at another angle. Oh, there's a stun turret there. That's very nice. So the stun turrets are our friends. I should shift click that and do that. There we go. Shift clicked. Should be able to kill off the ghost crawlers now. Right, that's the last one of those for a second. So these are all stun turrets. So these are your friends. Okay, so do they pop up after a period of time? I don't know. I'll tell you what has happened. It's gone past the 10-minute mark. And now the problem is you can't wait, because all that stuff comes at you, doesn't it? Now it's reasonable because I've got a stack of stuff. You can almost, if that's everything finished now, I can auto this target. Oh, my dog's complaining. He doesn't want to be in that room with me. What's up, buddy? What's up? Do you want to go out? Okay, there's a few things in the middle, but obviously once I've triggered them, I'm hoping that we don't get another plethora of ships. But I can draw these out, particularly that ghost crawler, which I can draw out and then use that to my advantage and stun the pants out of it. Let's try and draw it close to this stun turret if I can. Nope, it deep dived on me. And now it's going to fire. Darn, I'm on the wrong angle. Okay, not to worry. Well, he can come and chase me. There's one more down the bottom, isn't there? So we may as well finish this target off. That was actually quite interesting. Not a bad target. I mean, it gets a little bit hectic, doesn't it, when you've got 6 ghost crawlers chasing at the backside. But in honesty, don't fret about it, like I said, and just drive around in circles, and you can still outclass them, particularly if you've got Hyper 30 on. Definitely pleased I chose that. This will be a single shot, roughly, and then, yeah, all that fire behind me. There you go, and he's dead. So there's one more of those. I'm not going to kill off these ones yet. I'm going to go in and get this one here, get this one here, clean this up as much as I can, and then trigger this down the bottom end. Why did I sit short? That was foolish of me. I'll take that one out. So these have got little pictures on the top as well now. So in comparison to the other ones, they're obviously going to cause more damage or do something or other. Not quite sure what it is, but some have got little pictures on the top and some don't. I don't know what the difference is. Right, stun the turret, stun that. It would be horrendous to crash in this target. I think you'd be a pretty upset pirate if you crashed in this turret, in this target. I definitely think you would be upset, bunny. Well done to whoever designed it, though. It's something different, and I like that. We do like different things. Now, I should have probably used the stun turret to finish this off. I'm going to miss out. Or one round. There we go. One shot. I'm not going to get around by the time he gets deep diving, so he's going that way. I'm going this way. He's going to fire behind me. He's now dead. Right. So we can just technically you can let this auto the rest of it. But I'm going to try and speed up a little bit. All that there. Pull off the center. Down around here, and then back up over there. Okay, fine. What is the indication for having the little bits sitting on top of these turrets? More damage because they got yellow bits on top, maybe? I don't know. I probably should have read the notes. I'm sure there's probably a reason for it. These ones don't have it, do they? So, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that's the reason. You don't have to kill the whole target. However, you don't get all the points, remember. So that's it. Okay, you get the bonus, but you don't get all the points. So don't go in and kill all the middle bit. If you want all the points, and I did want all the points, then well, I got what I wanted. I got my, yeah, that'll do. End, finished. Okay, redeem prizes. Thank you very much. I'll have that. And we'll redeem that. Good. Right, we've got one of those. Let's put the ships away then. Let's go into the build and have a little look at what's there. Press recall on that. Great. We can start building a ship. This is fantastic. Okay, so actually, that's what those little things indicate. Oh, there's the blueprint. Fantastic. Has my ship finished upgrading? No, it hasn't. That's slightly annoying. Okay. Okay, there's 4 hours. That's on my last Everest going up to U3, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so design mode. Select hull. And let's go into, it's a skirmisher, isn't it? So I just want to see what the build time is for the hull. There it is there. In clear, everything. So raw as it states, look, there you go. 5 days, 12 hours, and 6 minutes. 5 days, 12 hours. 2 countermeasure slots. Look, we can see up there. And or mixed slots, sorry. And obviously then the rest of them look are torpedoes. Okay. You can guarantee we're probably going to get some funky torpedoes coming later. We're going to give these ones now, and then they're going to want you to put other ones on later. I'm not going to do a build now and that sort of stuff because I really haven't looked at it. I'll wait and I'll let Ren do that or Derpy. I will have a build that I'd probably just post, but I'm not going to go for it right this second. Good, right, done, finished. I think that's enough. That's an hour and a half or thereabouts. I think we've seen enough. Interesting targets. Doable, without a doubt. Enjoyable, yes. Quite enjoyed that, actually. We used up the crew, so that was ergonomic. Press fix on that. Hope that was worthwhile. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out Derpy's little page there. Ahoy Mahati's little page there. Wayne's page, okay. And Derpy's are going to have a video as well. I know he's done a preview. Sorry, a first hour stream as well. Hefe's just halfway into the first hour, half hour of his video as well, his live stream as well for um, his show as well. And Ren's going to come up with a build without a doubt in a nanosecond. So just get all the information off of everybody. I don't say you must watch me or you must watch Derpy. Watch everybody and then come up with your own concepts. It does pay to get a plethora of individuals to have a look at all the little ideas and that sort of stuff. Ren and I am always saying, we looked at two different builds, but we've got very similar end results. So, just have a little look across the full range of what's available out there and people's ideas, and then just make up your own minds. And you may go a slightly different way, depending if you're an auto player, whether you're a driver and that sort of stuff, whether you like doing it in slow time. At several stages in those targets, I could have stopped, waited for a timeout, gone and fixed probably on the sea, and then carried on. And in that 146, there was definitely a couple of stages there I could have stopped, gone out, fixed up the sea, gone back in, and that would have been quicker probably than going back into dock, unpicking the ships, and then fixing them and coming back out and then doing the next target. I could have definitely done it in stages, 2 stages, and I'd have been fine sort of stuff. So there are methods there. Right, that's it. I'll just log off now and say have a happy raid, enjoy yourselves, and obviously, if I don't speak to any of you before, have a great Christmas as well. And I hope Santa brings you everything you needed, but not that dreaded CV-19 thing, because nobody really wants that, do they? Enjoy yourselves, and if you get vaccinated by the new year or in the new year, then let's look forward to a 2021. Okay, certainly more enjoyable than 2020, because it's been pants. Well, that's my view anyway. Right, that's enough rabbiting.